Hey everybody, my name is Ryan Rincon. Many of you watching the video probably know me. If not, it's great to meet you all. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I'm not going to try to have it be too long and too dragging on, too rambly, what have you, but I'm still pretty new at this, so please forgive me. What is this video? Let's get right into it. It's sort of going to be a kind of a call to action, and also just kind of a way to put myself out there to kind of talk through some of the things that I've been feeling and some of the ways that I want to try to better not only myself, but do what little I can to try to make a positive impact on I guess the world around me. I was gonna say society, or life, or even the US, my own my own culture. What am I trying to say? My own ecosystem? I can't even think of the word. But in any case, basically, the point of this video is to announce, I suppose, publicly some runs that I'm going to be doing. And when I say that, I mean physically I'm going to be going and running different events. Now, there are a ton of these around. I quickly discovered, just kind of doing a Google search. I live in the Seattle area, again, as many of you know, and just kind of Googling runs or charity runs in my area, you come up with a lot very quickly. So actually, almost every weekend it seems there's one that you can find, be it a 5K or a half marathon, a full marathon, different variations in between. Many of these events have different different lengths for the same event. You can just choose to participate in the 5K or the 10K, whatever it is. And so I picked some of them, and I'm going to talk about them briefly. Some of them, I mean, this is kind of weird, but you'll see once I say what they are, kind of, there's a logic to why I picked them. And they're all very soon, by the way. I meant to make this video a lot sooner than I did, and in fact I wasn't even sure if I was ever going to, but I thought, what the heck, I've got a little extra time, I'm gonna throw this together and I'm just gonna put it out there, I'm gonna put myself out there and see if it gets some engagement with some people, because I think that would be really awesome if people see this and they think, maybe I could do that, or they even just maybe want to get a little volunteer time or a little bit of their money. I know we all work really hard for our money, and we all have things that we need to worry about and pay for in our own lives, or even things that give us, happiness and enjoyment in our life. Those are just as important a lot of the times. And I know money can be a hard thing to give away. I know your time, something maybe even more precious. I mean, arguably even more precious than money. It's much more finite than money. That can be a hard thing to give away too. And I get that. But I hope that if one person watches this video and feels inspired to go do, not even any of the things that I'm about to talk about, but it feels inspired to go and help make some sort of positive influence in their community and make some sort of sacrifice, I guess, of their time or of their money to do that, then I think it'll have been worth it. Yeah, and that's not kind of to be sitting on my high horse and act like I'm better than everyone, because I'm not. Again, part of the point of this video and why I'm trying to do these runs is to better myself. And half of that, I guess half of it is, trying to be a more giving, a more conscious giving member of society, and trying to help people and cultures and beings and just people that are less fortunate than I am for whatever reason. Or even in a couple of these cases, it's just to help promote, an agenda that I think is an important one, a worthwhile one that ultimately helps everybody, in my opinion. And you'll see what I mean in a second there. And then the other half of why I'm doing this is just really for my own health. I'm a relatively sedentary person. I have 2 jobs, one of which I sit all day, basically. And then the other one, I'm on my feet. I don't walk a lot, but I'm on my feet. And besides that, I don't really exercise. I don't go out and I don't go to the gym. I don't play any sports. I don't go on a lot of walks. I like to hike, but that's kind of when I get around to it type thing. And obviously it's not a very good time of the year right now, especially in the Pacific Northwest, to be going on hikes, although fingers crossed that changes really soon. But I yeah, so it's to improve my physical health. It's something that I make a conscious effort to do once in a while, but there's all these statistics that, if you do this exercise, then you will be happier, you're less stressed, it's good for your blood pressure, you lose weight. I don't really need to lose weight. I kind of need to gain weight, but the health benefits. It's just good for your physical well-being to go out there and do it. So this is just another these are an excuse to go out there and do it and to get in shape. And none of them are that long or strenuous runs. I don't think. Some of them are like on train and stuff, but they're not that strenuous. And it's just to get me to get up and do it, just to do something and not be sedentary. Go run instead of staying inside and catching up on Arrow or playing Persona 5 or reading about the news or what's going on in DC, which I've been doing way too much of lately. Just get away from all that and, maybe listen to music, put on a podcast I like or whatever, and just go for a run and get that exercise and try to feel better about myself physically, not even like, emotionally or, with my soul or whatever it is, just physically, just feel better. And I don't even feel that bad, I don't think, but just feel better. And that's it. So quickly, I want to go over these runs that I'm going to be doing. The first one is, I'm going to be talking about them sequentially. I'm sorry if I'm talking really fast. Again, I just don't want this video to be too long, but I guess if I can't be understood, then it's kind of a moot point anyway. But anyway, these are going to be going sequentially. The first one is at Magnuson Park. This is in Seattle, Washington, as are all of these actually. But this is in Seattle, Washington, Magnuson Park. It's a neighborhood in northeast Seattle. This is the Earth Day run. They have a 5K, 10K, and 13.1 mile, which of course is a half marathon option. I'm going to be doing the 5K, especially because I've been trying to get into shape for running and I've been kind of falling off of it. And if you don't know, Earth Day is on April 22nd, which is coming up real quick. It's just over, I'm not sure exactly when this video is going up, but it's about 2 weeks away. As of this recording, it's 16 days away. So a 5K, not that long. Again, it's about 3 miles, give or take, when you do that conversion. Actually, I have that here. If you just want to stick with me for just a sec, it's 3.11 miles. So not incredibly long, but that's, a fitness level that I am not at right now. So hopefully over the next couple of weeks, again, I'm putting myself out there. I'm like planting my flag to commit myself to doing this. So that is what I'm going to be participating in. And it's a basically simple. It's a pretty basic and simple, just kind of thing to wrap your head around. You run, you donate some money, it goes to, it goes to something, you get a tree. I know you get a tree, that's a really cool thing. And you can plant the sapling, they have a little planting ceremony at the end, or you can go do it, you take it home and plant it at your house, do it somewhere else. A little tree sapling. Every bush gets one, no matter which one you're doing. So that's kind of a cool thing. And there's a small, obviously all of these have fees associated with them to participate. And that depends a little bit on the run, on how far you're running within the race and the race itself. There's just different, and how soon you register. Some of these you can register way in advance, you save some money. Some of them, if you register the day of, then you're gonna be paying more money. So it just kind of depends. I'm going to be putting links in the description of this video, so I encourage you to check those out. But that's just, there's something I think is a cool thing, easy to just start off with. It's a 5K. It's coming up really soon, and it's to help the earth. And who doesn't want to get behind that? More on that later. The next one that I'm going to be planning on participating in, this one's a little, anyway. I'm going to be participating in it. And this is on, did I say, by the way, April 22nd, I said, for the Earth K 5K. The next one is the Global 6K for water. Now, the reason this is 6 kilometers is because 6 kilometers this is from their website, and this is teamworldvision.org. 6 kilometers is the average distance that people in the developing world walk for water that is often contaminated with life-threatening diseases. This is Saturday, May 6th, 2017. People from around the globe will walk or run an average distance for an extraordinary cause. And some of these, by the way, this one says it's for fast runners or leisurely walkers. Some of these, again, you can check them out on the website. There are different tiers. If you're a really athletic person and you want to go the long one, you certainly can. Some of them are not recommended for people, say, with strollers or pets or kids, who just aren't maybe that into shape, like I certainly would be right now. That's something to look into. Make sure you know which one you're doing if you're going to sign up for any of these, and make sure that you think that you can handle the distance at the pace that they suggest. So there's that one, and again, link in the description, Global 6K for water. Now you'll notice, probably you've noticed, that 6K, just a little bit longer than 5K. Not a lot longer, it's still less than 4 miles. That comes out to 3.73 miles. So we're not talking too much longer, but it's just it's 2 weeks after the Earth Day marathon, exactly. I'm sorry, marathon, 5K. And so I'm just for myself, building myself up a little bit more to that fitness. That brings me to the Beat the Bridge 8K. Now, many of you have probably heard of this. I'm not sure if they do it in other cities, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I haven't looked into this actually, but I know they've been doing it in Seattle. This is their 35th annual, so they've been doing this a while, and this is probably going to be the biggest one of the ones that I'm talking about. This is to beat diabetes. And this is not one that particularly I have an affinity for. I only know a couple people with diabetes, I guess, but this is more just something. It's a medical thing. It's something, and you watch some of the videos and you certainly feel for a lot of these people. And for me, it's a good cause. It's a great cause, certainly, but it also helps me just push myself a little bit further to participate in something. And this is the big one again. And this is one where I think if you're participating in the 8K, then they expect you to keep a certain mile pace to finish. But, it's 2 kilometers more now than what I'm going to have done, again, 2 weeks earlier. This is on May 21st, 2 weeks after the May 6th 6K for water. And this is at Husky Stadium in Seattle. Again, I don't think I said where the other one is. This is at Gasworks Park. The 6K, Global 6K for water is at Gasworks Park in Seattle. And this one, it starts at Husky Stadium in Seattle. Beat the Bridge 2017 for diabetes, sponsored by Nordstrom. I forget if I said that part. Again, I'm not sure if they have that in other cities, but I will have the link to the direct website that I will be participating in. And 8 kilometers, by the way, in case you're wondering, that's the wrong tab, comes out to 4.97 miles, so just under 5 miles, which sounds daunting to me, thinking about it right now. That sounds like that's a long ways, and I know it's not really that long of a ways, but the last time I've done some running to try to prepare for this, and it's been less than 2 miles. So not even half of that, and I need to build myself up. But again, this is just part of why I'm trying to push myself a little bit. It's the way I'm trying to set this up for myself. The last one that I'm doing, I don't remember if I said there were 4, but the last one I'm going to be participating in comes about a month later, a little over a month later now. And this one there are 2 options. There's a half marathon, and there's a 10K option. I'm going to be participating in the 10K option, unless I have just this incredible boost of morale and drive to really push myself to go the half marathon. And that might happen, and that would be really cool, because eventually I would like to run a full marathon, and that would be a good stepping stone, I think. These are all good stepping stones, but especially if I get the half marathon. This one is also at Gasworks Park, and this is the Burke-Gilman Half Marathon for Sane Climate Policy. Now, they don't talk that much about it on the website, but the funds go to the National Resource Defense Council, and it's really just raising awareness about climate change. This is something that recently, honestly in the last 9 months, I've really come to appreciate the significance of climate change. It's something that, candidly has been on my radar, and something that I, have considered a possibility and even a likelihood, honestly. But once I started kind of diving more into not only the kind of escalation, exponential escalation of what's happening to our planet, as well as the very real and very troubling consequences it has for not only myself, but my daughter, any other kids that may come along, just the generations that are going to be following me. It's scary stuff, and to think that there might not be as much habitable, you know, space for people to live is a troubling thought, and it's one that I think is worth fighting for and worth raising awareness for and worth putting time and money towards. I hope that it's kind of a movement that is too strong now to turn around from, no matter what might be going on in our nation's capital. I don't think it's something that can be ignored really any longer, and hopefully the more people, even not in my generation, but even the generation, you know, my parents' generation or the generation between, hopefully the more people that kind of are in positions to make change and have their voices be heard and try to make a difference, then we can really, really try to keep this momentum going and really try to make sure that we leave behind a planet that we can be proud of and not be ashamed of, that we trashed for everyone who comes after us. And I think that's important. I think, this is getting a little preachy and I didn't mean for it to, but I do think it is so important for us to consider the future. And it's something that, you know, our parents did for us, their parents did for them, you know, even on a micro level when they go to work so that their kids can go to school, you know, even on things like that, or so that they can go to college when they need to, and so they can eat. You know, you always do things to take care of your family and the people who will be here after you're gone. And I think if you just apply that concept to the necessity of taking care of our planet, and think of our planet as our big home that we all share, excuse me, then I think it's kind of undeniable that we need to take action. And this is just kind of a small, admittedly, but a small way that I want to take action. So there you have it. Those are 4 runs. Again, that's the Earth Day Magazine 4K, the Global 6K for water, the 35th Nordstrom Annual Beat the Bridge 8K for diabetes, and then the Burke-Gilman Half Marathon, or 10K, for sane climate policy. I'm going to be running in the next, I guess, 2 months, 2.5 months, and then we'll be all done with this. Again, links below if you want to check any of those out. I highly, highly, highly encourage you guys to check it out, and just think about it. Think about what maybe you can do to make a difference. You know, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be time. It could just be talking to somebody about it even. And I'm not trying to be preachy. I really don't want to be. This is just something that I wanted to share for myself and for anyone else who might maybe be in the same boat as me and just not be thinking about these things, or be wanting to put themselves out there, because it's a hard thing to put yourself out there. But if I can do it, you can do it too. And that's it. So thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I really appreciate it. Again, sorry if it's a little all over the place, a little choppy. I'm gonna go on a run right now. I have a little bit of time before work, and I'm gonna go and try to get into shape, because I'm not into shape, but I really need to get into shape, and I'm gonna try to beat these things and help and make a difference. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you later.